Nvidia is dying and it needs our help, or it doesn't, depending on your view. So if a lot of you have been noticing the tech news lately or haven't really been noticing and live under a rock, Nvidia has been releasing the new 572 drivers for Nvidia. And these drivers have been some of the worst graphics drivers that have ever come out for Nvidia, period. There are games that are crashing. There are games that are freezing. There are games, not even just games, the desktop itself that is freezing. There are blue screens. There are so many of these things. And I myself, who is an Nvidia card owner using my RTX 3060, am also experiencing these issues. I had to go back to a driver 566.36, which was released back in December, in order to even make this video. It's ridiculous. The instability of Nvidia's drivers is just driving me crazy, and it's driving everybody else crazy who owns an Nvidia graphics card. Now, we are in the middle of a pretty rough spot here in the United States. So I'm not sure when that's really going to iron itself out, but really, I don't want to get political or anything. But basically, buying a new graphics card right now is not a good idea. You should be buying a used graphics card if you have the means to do so and technical knowledge. If you are new to this thing, I would recommend buying a new graphics card, but wait for prices. But if you're skeptical about prices, go ahead and buy a new one, but do not buy an Nvidia card right now. We need to send a message to Nvidia. Please, Nvidia, you have been great. You had some great moments. You had the GTX 10 series of graphics cards, not the 1030. We do not talk about the 1030, but the 1050 all the way to the 1080 Ti, to the 20 series, the 2060, the GOAT budget GPU at the time, to the RTX 3060, which is what I'm using in my laptop right now, the GOAT graphics card for budget gaming Nvidia right now. And if you're going to argue and say, oh, you should buy into the 40 series or the 50 series, it's going to be so much better once they develop the drivers. 40 series has been out now for this long. And I'm going to put it up on screen right now. And the drivers still suck. And if you take a look here at the difference between this driver and this driver, there's a big difference in that list of bugs and like general fixes or whatever. I hate to say it, but I think Nvidia is the new AMD, and there's nothing we can do about it. Absolutely nothing. It is just out of our control. Us as the consumer, the only way we can send a message to Nvidia is to stop buying products. We need to stop buying Nvidia cards, and that will teach them a lesson. We need to buy cards from Intel or AMD. Granted, the performance may not be as great. And if you're still hanging with an Nvidia graphics card right now, there's really only two options you have. And that option is to go to an older Nvidia driver or to just not play your games. Now, Steve from Gamers Nexus made a very good point in his video that he just did yesterday. I just watched that video, and they did a bunch of tests, probably more than the Nvidia development team ever does, and it is insane what type of variability there was with these problems. Sometimes it was as easy as swapping the DisplayPort cables from one port to another port.
I believe that the driver issues are likely most affecting users with specific hardware combinations for display and graphics settings. Specifically, those using two monitors with G-Sync and with FrameGen enabled. We also found something really interesting regarding the physical output ports of the GPU itself and how the monitors are identified in Windows display settings. Something that especially stood out to us was that we could only replicate 3 of the 4 failures when both monitors were connected via DisplayPort and when monitor 2 was checked as the main display in Windows settings. As seen here, when our Acer monitor was plugged into what we're calling slot 3, and our Alienware monitor was plugged into what we're calling slot 2, which is just based on sort of your perspective, we didn't have any issues. But when we swapped the slots the monitors were plugged into, effectively converting monitor 1 to monitor 2 within Windows detection and vice versa, and then made monitor 2 the main display, we saw crashes again consistently.
To stop the crashing and to stop the issues. It is insane. There should be no reason why changing a display port can cause a stability issue. That is unacceptable for a graphics card. In any hardware in general, that level of quality control is absolutely absurd. I personally want to know what is going on right now inside of the Nvidia developer studios / headquarters. What are these developers doing when they are testing the drivers? Are they only using the 50 series? Are they only using the 40 series? Are they only using the Quadro cards and not using normal consumer hardware when doing these tests? My guess is they're probably only using the latest generation of GPUs because that is all they care about. And if you think Nvidia is going to be a savior and fix all of these problems very soon, because my God, you take a look at the upvotes or downvotes right now on both Reddit and on the Nvidia forums, which I'll put up on screen right here. It's bad. We are pissed off as consumers. It is absolutely absurd that a graphics card we bought with our money for $300, $400, $500, $700, $900, $1,000 should not be having these issues. They should just work, and you should be able to play on the thing that you own, that you bought for money. It shouldn't have these issues. It should just be able to play games, and it should be able to do whatever you want. And it's not even just limited to games. There are people who have been streaming using OBS and recording, like myself, which is why I had to downgrade my driver in order to record this video. I experienced a crash that I have never seen before when recording a video, and I lost all that footage. So that's kind of why I'm just going on a rant / tangent here in a random video with no script, because I'm going off script. I did have a script. There is no script for this video anymore because that all got thrown out of the window when I had to spend 2 hours of my life doing driver testing to find out why I couldn't record this video. Anyways, back into the main point. What can you do right now? Well, there's about one thing you can do, and that's install a driver that's older, that the community knows is good and has tested, or you can wait. What you do is up to you. If you're still sucking on Nvidia's little, I'm not going to say it exactly because whatever. I don't know if that affects the video. Again, this is my second channel where I can just kind of say whatever I want. I'm still figuring it out. But essentially, you just either got to wait or you have to fix things with your own half-botched issues. And I would highly recommend checking out the driver 566.36 as it is the most stable Nvidia driver as of right now in this video, if you are watching this video. And I'm going to be titling this video something stupid like Nvidia needs to listen or Nvidia is out of touch. I don't know what I'm going to name it yet, but whatever you're viewing right now is what I named it. And I'm just voicing my personal opinions about what Nvidia could do. They need to respect the consumer more because the consumer is what buys your products. Yes, you are a enterprise level company now and you are selling more to enterprise and you're making a lot of money off of enterprise, but do not forget where you started. You started with gamers, and that is your main target audience. You should not focus on purely enterprise. Now, of course, that sounds stupid and counterintuitive because money talks, money speaks. I understand. And obviously the money has gone to Nvidia's head selling for all this AI garbage. Like, no gamer cares about AI. They only care about gaming. They do not care about AI. And if they do care about AI and they're a gamer, well, then they only care about a game that was made about AI. They don't care about AI itself. Honestly, all these half-botched things, the problems in these drivers are directly correlated to the AI technologies like DLSS or frame generation or all these other things. And it's ridiculous. Again, Steve from Gamers Nexus did multiple tests, and in some scenarios, disabling frame generation, DLSS, G-Sync, and even reflex low latency caused a crash. It is absolutely insane. These things that Nvidia is advertising on their own cards are the main issue that is making them crash. Like, is that not a wake-up call? Like, should you not just see that and be like, oh, we should probably fix this. This is a bad thing. We should make it so that our features that we advertise actually work rather than crash all the time. And what's crazy to me is that this is not limited to just the consumer Nvidia cards. There's even some enterprise cards that are suffering the same exact issues. Like, there's people saying a Quadro had the same problem. There's people saying that literally the top of the line graphics card, the RTX 5090 and 50 series, was having tons of issues. Now, that could also just be because it's new and they're still developing drivers, but somebody installed a launch day driver and it was more stable than the current driver. If that says anything, I'm not sure what Nvidia is doing. Anyways, I'm going to end the video here. I just want everybody to voice their opinions in the comments, and I'm going to probably make a couple more videos like this, but Nvidia, please listen. Hear this video, hear this message. I know I'm just a small channel, but I've been an Nvidia enthusiast for years, and I've loved your products, but you have really pushed me over the edge, and I just cannot take this abuse anymore as a consumer. You need to listen to the consumer, and you need to just fix your drivers. Use older graphics cards if you have to. Please see these issues, fix these issues. Otherwise, I'm going to sweet old Team Red, and there's nothing you can do to stop me because I'm a consumer and I have buying power. Well, goodbye.